Hi, T. Carlson here. In recent years, Sony Pictures has been going back and reissuing a lot of their earlier 4K releases in new Steelbook packages with the addition of Dolby Vision that a lot of the movies releases in the past were lacking. Air Force One and The Mask of Zorro had gotten this treatment. I've covered those on this channel. And the latest one to get this treatment is Cliffhanger, starring Sylvester Stallone, which came out in 1993. I'm going to unbox this release, and I'll share my opinions and let you know if I recommend the release. And one thing that's kind of interesting, they put the backing card at the bottom of the release so they can put the title Cliffhanger up top. That actually looks very nice. I do like how that turned out. There's our spine text. The back of the backing card. Underneath the backing card there, we've got some nice art from a pivotal scene in the film. In here we have two discs. We have the Blu-ray disc, which has the film plus several bonus features, and then the 4K, which just has the film itself. And that looks very nice. Underneath here, again, you got another pivotal scene from the film. Some of Sony's earlier Steelbook releases just had like plain color backgrounds and nothing else, so I'm glad they rectified that with this release. Sylvester Stallone, John Lithgow, Michael Rooker, Janine Turner, and Ralph Waite star in this high-altitude avalanche of action. For Rocky Mountain Rescue, the action is almost routine. Locate 5 climbers. When the woman he loves and his best friend, Gabe Walker, brave the icy peaks, only discover that the distress call is really a trap set by merciless international terrorist Eric Quaylen. Against explosive firepower, bitter cold, and dizzying heights, Walker must outwit Quaylen in a deadly game of hide and seek. Cliffhanger is another one of those movies that I was well aware of when it was released. I think I was like an 8-year-old kid at the time, but I never saw it prior to picking up this release. And I have to say, even though this movie is full of a lot of the cliches you'd expect from an action thriller, everything actually comes together pretty nicely. I mean, you get a lot of those cliches, but you get them amidst this whole, cliff climbing background, and that puts an interesting new spin on things. Sylvester Stallone, of course, in the 1990s was in the middle of a long hiatus between Rocky and Rambo movies, and so he tried his hand at a lot of different things, and the role he plays here is actually pretty entertaining. It's a great supporting cast as well. John Lithgow, of course, plays a fantastic terrorist. He's one of those guys that can make a great villain or a great good guy, depending on what the movie requires. And the supporting cast, of course, even includes Michael Rooker. Interesting trivia, Michael Rooker and Sylvester Stallone would both go on to play Ravagers in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, so that would almost be sort of a Cliffhanger reunion in a way. There's some great action set pieces here, and while I will say the movie's certainly not the most original thing I've ever seen, there are moments where you'll certainly be cheering when the bad guys inevitably get their comeuppance. It's very gripping, intense, and does exactly what it delivers. 30 years later, I'm happy to say that this one certainly does stand the test of time a lot better than many movies that were released around this same period. Again, this is a new release of a film that Sony had previously put on 4K. The older release only had HDR and not Dolby Vision, whereas this release adds Dolby Vision. I did not own the prior 4K, so I can't do a direct comparison, but I am happy to say that regardless of that, this is a fantastic looking disc. I mean, you have these beautiful outdoor environments and then some pretty intense action scenes amongst it all. It all translates pretty well to the 4K format. You do get your occasional soft shot here and there, but that's pretty much inevitable when it comes to movies being filmed. Overall, I would have to say that this is a pretty faithful, pretty strongly transfer. Sony usually does pretty good work when it comes to their 4K releases, and this is no exception. The 4K disc itself includes some deleted scenes, whereas there are some vintage bonus features on the Blu-ray disc, including some commentary tracks and then some further information from the cast and crew, some nice interviews and the like. So if you are a fan, that stuff's well worth checking out. I don't believe there's any new bonus material here, but anyone who likes the movie, I think, should absolutely pick up this release. It looks great, and I do have to say that the bonus stuff is certainly the icing on the cake. If you own the older 4K release, I'm willing to bet this is essentially the same transfer or pretty close to it, just with the addition of Dolby Vision. So if it is an upgrade from the earlier release, it's probably a minor one at best. But if you don't already own the movie, this is certainly the one to buy. Are you a fan of Cliffhanger? Do you think it's one of Sylvester Stallone's best? Comment down below and let me know what you think. Also, remember to subscribe to this channel for more content, as I'm always posting new videos, and be sure to give this one a like if you find it helpful. I'm Taylor T. Carlson. I'll see you next time.